If you can knit a square, you can knit this sweater. I've designed this sweater to be a really easy knit for someone who hasn't had much, if any, experience with knitting sweaters. And so you're pretty much just going to knit a few squares and we're going to seam them together. And so the part that is probably going to be the most difficult for you is learning how to do the different seaming and picking up stitches that we have in the design. And this is the sweater. This is the tiniest version with a little Space Invader embroidered on the front. And it's a hoodie. And here's another, the bigger size, or one of the bigger sizes, with a heart on the front, of course. So the first part of the pattern is really pretty simple. You're going to cast on the number of stitches for your size, work in ribbing for a while, and then just do plain knit a row, purl a row until you reach the number of inches the pattern says. Now the techniques that I'm showing you here are techniques that will be used and called for in a lot of different patterns. I'm going to show you things like the 3-needle bind off and picking up stitches that you'll see all over the place. But if you'd like to follow along with the little hoodie that we have here, it's available for purchase and download over at VeryPink.com. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to do a 3-needle bind off. Let's get right down here to the work. I've followed the instructions and knit the front and back of my sweater. The back has stitches reserved on a piece of scrap yarn, and the front has a bunch of bound off stitches. And what I want to do, I've already done one side to show you, is to seam the shoulders using a 3-needle bind off. And this little seam right here is this line right here. Now I'm going to go do this side. Okay. So the first thing we do is slip the stitches from these shoulder stitches from the scrap yarn onto a double pointed needle. You always slip as if to purl. Okay, I've got all 9 stitches on there, and so I can pull out the piece of scrap yarn that was holding those. So I already put half of the stitches from the front onto a double pointed needle. Now I have the back ones on there. I want to turn it so that right sides are facing each other and the wrong side is out on both sides. Because 3-needle bind off is easy and awesome, but it does leave a little bit of a ridge, and we want that ridge to be on the inside so it's smooth on the outside. So I have these 2 needles lined up like this. I'm going to take a 3rd double pointed needle and I'm going to get my yarn going, reattached. I put my needle into the first stitch on the front needle and then the first stitch on the back needle. You see how I've got that? It's going through both. Then I grab my working yarn, leaving about a 6-inch tail, wrap it, and pull it through both. So I pretty much just knit 2 together from these 2 needles. I'm going to do that again. In as if to knit through the first stitch on the front needle, in as if to knit on the first stitch in the back needle, first stitch of the back needle, wrap it and pull it through both. Now I have 2 stitches on the right needle. I want to use one of these needles to bind one of those off. My yarn is splitting, there we go. So I'm going to do it again. It's like a normal bind off with a knit 2 together at the front. And then bind it off. Front, back, knit, knit. Bind it off. And if you're a tight knitter, you want to pay close attention to make sure that your tension is loose on this, because your seam could bunch up. Go pour yourself a glass of wine, relax, and then try this bind off. So I'm binding off and seaming at the same time. It is the easiest way to seam, mistake-free. And I actually want to finish this so I can show you what it looks like when we're done. Okay, I'm left with 1 stitch. I will cut the yarn and pull that through. Okay, now when I flip this the right way again, my shoulders are seamed. Look at that, and it's perfect. And of course, everything lines up perfectly. Okay, the body of our sweater is finished. Next up, I'm going to show you how to pick up stitches for the hood.